Hello, YouTube. Akumajo or just Kuma here, your local identity crisis having clown. And today, as you can tell from the title of the video, we're gonna be looking at my World Cup run. Um, Same just as I did last time, except this time I have all of my replays really close by because I played all three of my games in one day. Oh, whoops. There it is. So, well, not all of my games, but all my games were on in one day. Um, and yeah, sorry if my mic quality is bad or you sound like static noises. It's because this mic is just bad. But it'll make do. Anyways, enough with that. Let's just get on with the first series versus the Shadow Claw. And yeah, this is pretty straightforward. Just an offense team with Necrozma, Naganadel, and Gyarados. Nothing too crazy, just a generally good team versus the Shadow Claws Victini, Altaria, and Venusaur. Now, I want to say that I actually clicked rather poorly despite 3-0ing him spoilers. Because in this game I was clicking really safely. Like, Necrozma doesn't even have Power Gem, but it beats both Venusaur and Altaria, which could give both of these trouble, except for maybe Naganadel. I'm not too sure about that matchup. Naganadel might be able to power through it, but all I know is that Venusaur can, like, Leech Seed, they can do whatever. Who knows, maybe Naganadel is a soft 3-0. But instead, I was mostly focusing on Altaria because I feel like Altaria can play around it, and so can Venusaur. And Gyarados is a 1-2 click, which I don't particularly enjoy. You beat Victini, but you don't beat the other two. But Necrozma seems pretty good. Like, it beats the two annoying mons that can definitely disrupt this threatening pair. And it seems like these two kind of scare off Victini, so that's why I clicked Necrozma. And I think I got predicted on, I'd say. Who knows, maybe the Victini could be in Naganadel with a Celebrate set. But I wasn't planning on him clicking on Victini, so I was kind of quivering in my boots here. But Necrozma is pretty fat, and honestly, it can hit pretty hard, especially after, say, a V-Create drop, which was what I was betting on. This is why I didn't like Prismatic Laser or whatever. So yeah, he clicks V-Create. I lived on 1%, and Photon Geyser is doing exactly 50%. And I was like, alright, this might be a roll. I outspeed, and I kill it. So bam. Yep. I'm not sure if that was Band or Scarf, but whatever it was, it lost to Necrozma. So yeah, that's game one. Going to me. And so moving on. Game two. Yep. Another straightforward Malt Heatran team. Maltran. With Haxorus as the glue. Surprisingly enough, Super Strike didn't make this team. Notator did, if I recall correctly. I'll double check though, because my memory is very poor. Yes. Let's see. Alright, well, that's a Super Strike team. But point is that Super Strike didn't make this team. A lot of people were saying he did, but no, just because it has Acrus doesn't mean Super Strike made it. So yeah, moving on. Right off the bat, Tapu Fini is looking very threatening. Like, it beats Haxorus, it beats Mega Altaria generally reliably, but it loses to that Grassium Transet. And meanwhile, my Grassium Tran was Ancient Power, Overheat, Solar Beam, and I believe Taunt. So even though Grassium Trend was very obvious here, like, oh yeah, of course, like, it's gonna be Grassium Trend just because his team looks like it loses to Tapu Fini. I still clicked it because it still had good odds against the other two. Plus, what is it? Brick Victini is a bad set. I genuinely believe that Brick Victini is not very good. It doesn't hit very hard. The only matchup it really helps with is Heatran. Like, I'm pretty sure it's just for Heatran. Maybe Mega Gyarados, but then again, you get eaten alive by +1 Crunch or Waterfall. Maybe even Earthquake. But point is that I firmly believe that this was not Brick Victini. So in that case, Heatran basically 3-0'd. And he ended up clicking Tapu Fini. And yeah, he got beamed on by Grassium Tran. And oh yeah. He knew it too. He knew it, but I'm pretty sure he didn't really have much of an answer for it, except for maybe Victini with Break, but I wasn't actually counting on it. Still, poor guy. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, moving on. Game 2 goes to me. Alright, I'm sorry if I'm too quiet. And then finally game 3, we finally didn't use hide games. So yeah, game 3. The Shot Claw brings D-Knight, Aegislash, which is a very good core, and Mosa as the third. And I bring a very cool team. Like, these are all cool Mohans. Like, Metagross, Terrakion, and Hoopa. And yeah, it seemed pretty dope, not going to lie. So, yeah, it looks like this team kind of loses to Aegislash. Kind of. Unless it's Metagross, but then again, it's still 50-50. And honestly, Hoop Unbound kind of beans on it, TBH, but I don't know. Hoop Unbound seems very unlikely with D-Knight and Pharaoh kind of menacingly hovering over it, and Terrakion doesn't seem to be anything. So I was mostly focused on these two. And honestly, I guess he thought that Aegislash was just a very safe click here. So that's why he clicked. And I clicked Metagross because I knew I was sub. I was like, oh yeah, I'm all too familiar with this matchup. So here I sub, of course, because that's what you do. You don't want to die immediately. And then this is my train of thought. Alright, get this. If I sub once, like, if I sub again, then it looks like I'm just gonna sub all the way down and lose to, Shadow Sneak. So, what I do is actually I attack. What was my train of thought? I was like on drugs. No, I wasn't, but oh man, I was like wilding out. I remember now. I attacked. Yeah. I subbed and then attacked, and then I was planning to sub and then attack again, and then sub and then attack again. Because I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking back then. I'm very bad at remembering what I was thinking, unsurprisingly. But yeah, I just attacked, and yeah, that seemed to work. By the way, I renamed all the mons as like what the Tarak doing, or what the Meta doing, or what the Hoopa doing. Because that one dog meme was really funny to me. Oh, it's better. Okay. And then yeah, that was a very safe, not very safe, but like, yeah, that was a very clean 3 games. And yeah. So moving on. Oh man. LBDC is a classic breaker of mine. I definitely don't have the best matchup against him. Especially since, ever since Seasonal. Hold on. I'm gonna quick look at Discord real quick. Because I remember talking about it in the Elo Bandit Discord back when I was starting out. He was the one who knocked me down to losers in my first Seasonal. Here. This you. Oh yeah, back in 2019. Was it back in 2019? I'm looking because someone told me to build for them. Like they wanted me to build for Law Blade Disuse because I'm sorry if I horribly pronounced it, by the way. It's like Disu, like the Blade of Eyes or something. Okay, moving on. I've had a poor matchup against him. He's always beaten me in general stuff. But this time was a little different. Alright. So yeah, game 1. Oh man, this is such a scary matchup, and it honestly seems like I just straight up lost to Charizard. But yeah, so here I go slacking to beat Charizard, and I'm like, oh geez, he won't cure him. Well, that's kind of sad. I'm definitely not killing him with Scarf Impact. And yeah, he's gonna successfully stall me down, especially using my recharge turns. He's fishing for a crit, but that was very unsuccessful, and he takes game 1. And I was like, alright, this is already starting off pretty bad. Blade Disuse already needs 2 more games just to beat me. Game 2. I was like, alright, this team is another Moltran team. Wow. With Genesect as the core. And this is what I thought to myself. I don't even remember what I clicked. I'm pretty sure I clicked Genesect. Yeah. And I was like, alright. No, I remember what I clicked. I'm pretty sure I clicked Malt. Because Malt, I believe Malt could tank Greninja's anything. And then beat Zygarde. And then Charizard was like a soft win. Like you beat Mega Charizard X, and in Mega Charizard Y you kind of need Confide for, which I didn't know, to be frank. So I clicked Malt, and he clicked Mega Charizard Y. And then he Air Slash. I'm like, oh great. I'm gonna flinch. I believe I'm gonna Dragon Dance. I'm gonna Roost here. Or just Frustration. Yeah, I don't even have Dragon Dance. And yeah, I got flinched again, and then crit. But that crit didn't matter. It was more like a Soul Moon kind of thing. And yeah, GG2. I'm down 0-2. 1 win, and then Blade takes it. My classic rival. The one who always beats me, at least. I don't know what to call that. And so, game 3 kicks in. I'm like, alright, I gotta go World Cup of last year mode. Like, I wanted to go last time I was 3-0'd, but that didn't work out. But still, I had that mindset. I was like, alright, he's definitely click a bit more safely, because now he's in 2-0. He wants to secure that win. So, here I thought, like, honestly, Altaria kind of loses to these two. I guess not Volcarona. But it beans on Gyarados. Magnezone isn't really doing much this matchup. You get stalled out by Deoxys Speed. You get set up on by Volcarona, and then you get Earthquake by Gyarados. And in Victini is kind of the same story. You at least beat Deoxys Speed. The offensive set. Volcarona is a bit of a weird matchup, but I feel like you beat it, and then Gyarados started losing. So this is already like a very hard click for me. I'm like, geez, what do I click here? But I do believe that my one safest bet was to go, Victini. Because I had a good matchup against these two, which are really threatening to my other 2 ones. And you went Gyarados. Oh, never mind, I went Altaria. Dude, I am like out of it right now. But yeah, I didn't even expect it. I went Altaria just because Gyarados seems like a very safe click, beating Victini and Magnezone. It was a 2-1, and Altaria is really threatened by these two. So of course, assuming he's gonna safely click Altaria, and I'm like, I got taunted. And he's gonna Dragon Dance. I click Body Slam. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is not good. I need a para. There we go, para. And yeah, I could safely Chrono Guard up. And then just kill him from there. I had good odds of getting a para. Bam. Game 3 goes to me. And yeah. Alright. Moving on. Game 4. Alright. I got the pivot. You know, the momentum's starting to be in my favor. You know, I shook LBDC up. I clicked the thing that beats the safe click. So now he's like, alright, I gotta click. As what I'm assuming, like I gotta click unsafely. Like I gotta catch him off guard. And here is a pretty threatening matchup. These two lose to Primarina. Zeraora doesn't look like it's actually doing much for this matchup, except for maybe against Haxorus. Which the other two kind of cover. And then Charizard is Charizard. It can be Haxorus. It can be... no, actually, it has a bit of an unsure matchup against Incineroar. And it definitely beats Venusaur. So here's my train of thought. Incineroar pretty much beats Zeraora. A fake out into Z just guts it. You know, you can charge all you want. You can Z Thunder. I'm going to tank it and kill. Charizard is a bit of a weird matchup. For Charizard X, you gotta bulk up first, so you can kill with Z. For Charizard Y, you can immediately Z because it's not as bulky as Charizard X, and you're just gonna get like 2-hit KO'd by Air Slash. For Charizard X, if you bulk up once, it's a 3-hit KO for Outrage. And then yeah, Prim is pretty much scared away by Venusaur, and with this water electric core, he pretty much assumes that I'm gonna cook Venusaur. So yeah, I don't, and I click Incineroar, and bam, fake out. I think that's a bit of a losing play. You don't Mega turn 1 because it's gonna fake out and it's gonna scout out your Mega. So that's his losing play. He outrages into bulk up. Yep, I bulk up. And then I safely tank the second outrage and kill with my Z Malicious Moonsault. Yep. There we go. Whoops. That's not much of a whoops. I don't remember why I said that. No. Bam, GG4. All tied up. Looks like it's in my favor. Alright. It looks like I'm about to reverse sweep. What's gonna happen? It got Metagross, which can be Tapu Fini with T-Punch. Charizard, it's not gonna run Rock Slide for Charizard. Why? Especially when you got T-Tar in the back. And then, so this Charizard's beating this. Slowbro seems pretty much obvious, you know, because you don't have to get taunted by Tapu Fini through Oblivious. You tank whatever Metagross throws at you, and Charizard X is stuffed as well by Iron Defense. But it honestly kind of looks like Charizard Y. And then T-Tar generally loses against these two, but beats Charizard, which beats Metagross, which isn't doing much. It's a mirror match, it's a losing matchup, and then it's Tapu Fini, which you need T-Punch for. So yeah, I think his Tapu Fini answer is Slowbro. So yeah. The pressure's on Slowbro. So I'm pretty sure that's what he clicks. Yep. And then Charizard Y. Yep, he actually clicks Iron Defense, I believe. Yeah, that was the biggest choke, because if he simply amnesia'd, he would have tanked the second Sword Beam. And won. But bam. GG's, Wapale this you. Finally won, which felt very nice. Yeah. And yeah, that's the series for Blah Bully Does You. And I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and now we're gonna go over our series versus Boat. My dreaded rival, the very reason my own girlfriend cheered against me. Okay. So let's see. He brings a very threatening Clefable, Charizard, Aggron team versus my Zygarde, Mawile, Hoopon Bound team. Oh, whoops. Let's reset. So, here's what I was thinking. I was like, these all look pretty scary, especially Charizard, which seems like a soft 3L TBH. Charizard X at least. Who knows? And then Clefable also seemed pretty scary versus Hoopon Bound and Zygarde. And Aggron actually wasn't doing much except versus Hoopon Bound. So now it seems like, alright, I'm probably gonna click Zygarde because Hoopon Bound is kind of a weak link, and Mawile has a bit of a strange matchup against Charizard. Generally loses though. And Clefable. Actually, no, it definitely beats Clefable. But Aggron's a bit of a weird matchup too. I think it should win. Like, it could just sucker punch or whatever. But I personally, yeah. So that's why I clicked Mawile, I believe. Oh no, I clicked Hoopa. What? Hoopa was kind of dead weight in this game, but bam, Hoopa comes in and destroys Clefable. I don't know what I was thinking with that, but bam. GG won. Okay, Akuma Joe. Don't know what that was all about, but yeah. I guess that was my best bet against Clefable because the Spadef set doesn't really beat Mawile, does it? Okay. Game 2. Bam. Oh, whoops. I forgot to explain my click. I believe this is mixed T-Knight. This is Charizard Y, of course. And this is Quagsire. Quagsire is just a good backbone for a lot of things, I guess. Garchomp seems like it loses against Quagsire, beats Charizard, and T-Knight can bulk break. Aegislash kind of loses to Charizard, kind of loses to D-Knight, and it doesn't look like it's beating Quagsire either. Although I guess it could Metal Sound Quagsire. And then Charizard, it looks like it's Charizard Y, which would be Quagsire, and it but lose the other two. So again, this click is very much in pressuring against both. But let's just see what he clicks. Clicks Aegislash for the Quagsire, and I click D-Knight. And oh yeah, this is Scarf D-Knight, so that's why I only did 57%. He laser focuses, and I just 2-hit KO safely with Earthquake. And that's about it. Not much to say, just a general matchup that was in my favor. Thank Jesus. And then finally game 3. So the momentum was in my favor. Alright. I was like, alright, I'll bring Gigalith. I'm pretty sure I was asked to bring this Gigalith team for game 3. I was like, alright, I'll bring it. I'm winning, so who knows. So already this is looking scary for Umbreon and Gigalith with Manaphy. Aegislash loses to Gigalith, but it beats Mew and loses to Gigalith. And then Togekiss kind of loses to Gigalith, and it has an unsure matchup against these two. I'm pretty sure it beats. Honestly, it loses to Umbreon because Synchronize, T-Wave, and also Furium makes you immune to Trick, and then Mew is kind of a mixed bag. So already, Manaphy seems like a pretty obvious click, and knowing that, I decide to click Mew, as that was my Manaphy answer. These two could not do anything for that. And I will simply T-Wave here. I'm gonna miss it. I remember this. Yeah, I'm gonna miss this T-Wave. And so, yeah, Tail Glow. Bam. and then I Z transform. So I can steal your stat boost, and you get the para, which kind of works out for the miss earlier. Any Z waters, I'm like, oh, it's scary. Until I crit. Oh my god. That was very gross. And he was saying, if I hit T-Wave, he gets slower tail glow, but at that point, I would just, light screen, because I know he'll get the slower tail glow, and I'll be doing nothing. But still, that crit was very disgusting. And I'm not sure if I would have. I think this is what knocked West out. Or maybe it was. I don't remember actually, but. Oh man. That was kind of a steal, but not really because of the pyramids. Whatever. I don't tend to think too much on it. It's just the game. It's not my fault. It's not Bo's fault. Although it was a bit of a robbery. Who knows? Maybe Bo would have reverse swept, but damn. That was still just a win. And we'll take those, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna be right back again. Alright, we're back. And now we're finally gonna go over our last series, my loss. Oh god. I didn't even see this. Hold on, I gotta like some posts. I was going so hard, and then Gorilla like stopped me in my tracks. Everybody thought I was gonna beat Gorilla. Like I'm a pretty competent player, and I'm good at assessing my opponent's power level. But Gorilla kind of shook me off, and I admit I had some bad plays during this series. However, moving on, let's just look at our series. Explain what I did and what I did wrong to cost me my only loss this tournament. And possibly no, I'm going too hard on myself. I was gonna say like possibly what caused the momentum of Northeast to fall, cause I don't know. I'm pretty sure I was the first loss of our team, and it only went downhill from there. But whatever. Moving on, I brought this solid team with Custap Ripe. I think this is Z Wave Togekiss and Serp. And my train of thought was that this team baits Greninja. And yeah, that's it. I should click right. Didn't really look at the other ones. I was like, oh man, this is the one that baits Greninja, huh? Even though people should be expecting Custap at this point. But whatever. Yeah. So I click Ripe, of course, to beat Greninja, and he clicks Metagross. I'm like, uh-oh. This is no bueno. And I get flinch turn one. I was like, ouch. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna endure. And yep, I'm probably gonna die to Bullet Punch, but I'm gonna EQ with my Custap, and bam, I crit. So not only does he reveal that he is not Bullet Punch, but that the flinch would have mattered. I mean, yeah, it would have mattered had had I not crit. So, ha, there you go. That works out. Game one, very nice. So I was pretty happy about that. I was like, what a funny game. Hopefully the next games go well. So yeah, I bring Como Meloetta Mario Altaria, and Meloetta Altaria is a pretty solid combo as well. Not much to say about it though. This is Porygon Z, Donphan, and Victini, and I was immediately very worried about my Porygon Z matchup because honestly, Altaria kind of handles both of these. Although Victini actually can be Altaria along with Como and Meloetta, but it's like set dependent. Like it can be Altaria and Como with the Z Celebrate set, and it can be Meloetta with just like Fire Yum or Choice Band, I believe. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure it's just Fire Yum. Or something like that. Who knows? I'm not actually too sure on that matchup, but what I was most worried about is Porygon Z, because it definitely beans on Como-O, it outspeeds in Zs, or just nukes with Hyper Beam, and it just beats Altaria most of the time. And then Meloetta should beat it. if you don't click horribly like I did. So this is yeah. Spoilers, he clicks I'm gonna click Meloetta into Porygon Z because I predicted the Porygon Z. I was like, alright, I know Meloetta can beat Porygon Z. And at first I clicked Z, what is it? Z Breakneck Blitz? Z Hyper Beam? Um but then I was like, oh, but what if he just sets up on me with Z conversion and now he's immune to my moves. But at the same time, I was thinking way too quickly. Like it was a very fast click, and I honestly should have thought like, all right, if he's Z conversions, he's not gonna do anything with Hyper Beam now that it lost adaptability, and I'm immune to Shadow Ball. So the only way it would do negligible damage to me would be if it Z Breakneck Blitzes, and that would have lost to my own Z Breakneck Blitz. But I was thinking too fast. I rushed to click, and I instead clicked Calm Mind to call out the Z conversion. And yeah, Breakneck Blitz would definitely knock me into KO percent with Hyper Beam or whatever. And yep, I lost that one. And yeah, 1-1. So I was like, ouch. All right. That was a very poor click. But whatever. I just gotta move on. I can't be too down about it. Next game. And already right off the bat, this is a pretty rough click for me because if I click Garchomp, I lose to Greninja, I lose to Altaria, I may be Magnezone if it isn't like, I don't know, Specs, Hyper Beam, or HPIs. Nihilego loses to Magnezone, mostly loses Greninja, this one is a calc for Greninja, but beats Altaria at least. And Zeraora loses to Altaria, pretty much beats Magnezone and beats Greninja. So I'm like, alright, I think Nihilego is too much of an obvious click. Not really obvious because these two are pressuring it, but it beats Altaria, which are into my other two. So I was like, alright, instead of going Nihilego to be Altaria, I'm definitely going Zeraora because our Magnezone matchup is a bit rocky, and so is our Greninja matchup. So yeah, I click Zeraora, and he clicks Alt. I was like, shit. Yeah. That's definitely gonna do it. Charge into Z Thunder will do not enough. It will roost off, and yeah, and then I won't be doing much. I hope for a para at least, but now it's looking pretty bad for me. GG3. And now I'm down 1-2. So I gotta like really not over because I was definitely overthinking for that matchup. Like Altaria was kind of an obvious click. But I thought too ahead of myself. Um and so game 4, he brings Tapu Bulu, Pikamuku, and Meloetta. And immediately I see that Victini has a really good matchup. Um but I'm not sure if it tanks Meloetta. I might lose to Pikamuku. This is like I'm pretty sure it's banned. So I'm pretty sure Meloetta doesn't tank it, and then it just outright destroys Tapu Bulu. The other two have their matchups, but they're both kind of shut down by Tapu Bulu, and then Meloetta kind of beats it. It's a hard matchup. It's just like, it's a 50-50, I'd say. And then Pikamuku is kind of not as threatening. So I wasn't really expecting it. So yeah, Victini seems like a pretty safe click. So yeah, I clicked Victini. And he clicked Meloetta. I'm like, alright, hopefully Z Fire kills. It doesn't, but Z Celebrate into Hyper Beam does not kill me either. So thank God for that. So there we go. It's tied up. I was like, alright, I gotta psych up for this. This is game 5. I gotta click well. Like I gotta know what my opponent's gonna click. And right off the bat, looking at this matchup, it looks like Incineroar goes in because Sableye is able to beat Metagross, and Darmanitan is able to beat Gardevoir and Metagross. And Incineroar would actually lose to Gardevoir if it has Trace. It would Trace Intimidate. And uh lower its attack. So then you would tank Fake Out into uh Z Malicious Moonsault, and then Calm Mind up and KO back with Hyper Beam. But unfortunately, I realized on Team Preview that this was synchronized Gardevoir, so I am essentially 3-0'd by Incineroar. Um, and while that is unfortunate, I still want to bank on the fact that it Gardevoir can still beat Incineroar. So I want to scare him out of Incineroar and go either of these two, which Darmanitan would beat. But unfortunately, that would not be the case, and he clicks Incineroar, which definitely beats my Darmanitan. It's Scarf, by the way. And yeah, that would take me out. And yeah, so that was that series. I admit I played very poorly for that first one, and I failed to review my teams well enough to look that my Gardevoir was synchronized instead of Trace. But that's just what happens. You gotta learn from it. You can't really mope over it too bad, because moping won't get you anywhere. What gets you places is just learning from these kinds of experiences and growing as a player, because I myself am not a very good player. Like, I do well, I click well, but I'm still rather inexperienced in terms of preparation, in terms of building, definitely. That's why I need builders. And in terms of mindsets, because I feel like I do click rather simply, but effectively. You know, it's effective, but still, it's very simple. So as long as you're in my head, it'll be pretty easy to predict what I do. But meh, it happens. Um, didn't go lossless this time, but I still carried my team. Not carried my team, but I still pushed my team to go into playoffs. I won all three of my games that day, and I guess I motivated the rest of my teammates to do the same. But kudos to them for getting us to playoffs. This was a team effort, and I'm glad I could at least turn it around for us and get us into playoffs at least. But yeah, uh, thank you for watching. Definitely subscribe if you still haven't. Um, and that's just about it, really. Not much to say. Thank you for watching and all that. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.